So, all of my staff, we are excited to get the vaccine. We are in the COVID unit, so therefore, my team will be getting first chances to get the vaccine. And I know that it's really, I'm sorry, I'm feeling really dizzy. Oh, I'm sorry.
So, yeah, that's a nurse that just received the concholeal sickness jab and then passed out. Yeah, isn't it incredible that we rushed and quickly developed this jab that is so safe and effective that it will be mandatory in some instances and all online dissent of it will be banned? Yeah. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. This is Skepticism of WeAreChange.org. And my goodness, just when you think things couldn't get any crazier, we have this video, of course, coming out online. But to give you both sides of the story, the official version of what happened here, which is allegedly that this nurse has a history of reactions to jabs, and she also has a history of passing out. Now, that's the official story, and if that's the case, why make her the best example of taking the jab on national television and putting her right in front of the cameras afterwards? Whether or not there's some kind of conspiracy or just incompetence, either way, this doesn't build trust with the American public. And of course, that wasn't the first goof up that happened with, of course, this larger PR campaign that's happening right now. As of course, there's another video showing a nurse in El Paso not receiving the jab when they were telling everyone he was receiving the jab. Information surrounding this on local media is being deleted right now as we speak. As of course, the big tech monopolies, specifically Twitter, just announced that it will be deleting people's accounts if they question the efficacy and safety of this jab. Facebook, of course, is announcing similar measures, which really makes you wonder if they're going to be going after institutions like, the British government that are warning people who are pregnant, plan to be pregnant, are small children, and also have serious allergies to not take the jab. This is specifically the Pfizer jab, with a part of Donald Trump's Operation Warp Speed is being sent out all throughout the United States and implemented right now. Recently, Vice President Mike Pence took the jab himself in another PR stunt while, of course, pleading with Americans to, quote, social distance and wear a mask. While CNBC actually released an article just moments ago that I have to actually commend them on. This is something that, of course, if you've been watching this channel, we've been saying from the very onset of, but CNBC just confirmed that under the PrEP Act, companies like Pfizer and Moderna have absolute immunity from any liability. You can't sue them if they hurt you, and the government that put this law in place will not be compensating you for any damages either. So essentially, all the risk for you and none for them. But trust the government, because they, of course, have a great track record of being honest with you, right? Now, again, you can see why skepticism is essentially my best friend during 2020, and you should consider befriending him as well. Now, again, it's important to point out here that some of these medical professionals and mainstream media doctors, they might actually not be wrong. We always have to entertain all points of view, all different information that comes our way, especially the claims that are being made by the mainstream media, and of course, some medical professionals that are hired. Hired is the key word there. But let's just be honest here with ourselves. Statistically, the chances of them being right on a rushed jab that took 6 months, meanwhile, the average jab usually takes 10 to 15 years to produce. You look at the follies of modern medicine, and you really do have to wonder what's going on here. And let's just be real here. If we had a jab that was safe, effective, and actually doing what all the politicians like Donald Trump promise it to do, along with all the other hired mainstream media personalities and hired medical professionals, if this jab was so great and as amazing as they claim it is and will change everything, well, it would sell itself. You wouldn't need a whole big propaganda effort to push it, and you wouldn't need to suppress any kind of legitimate information surrounding the larger implications of it. Whether it's the side effects issued by even governments that are warning you about this is information that, of course, if it's censored like it is right now, will put more doubt and mistrust on the average person. And if you really want people to take this jab, you're going to be honest, upfront, and transparent with them about it. And that's something that government doesn't have a good track record of, and something right now that we need more than ever. And that's definitely something we don't have. The Pfizer CEO didn't even take the jab himself, and the White House just overturned Donald Trump's directive and will not be jabbing top White House officials like they originally planned on doing so. You think if you have a good product, you would not want to be exempt from any liability if, say, maybe you're not right, you know? If you have something that's absolutely safe and effective, why do you need immunity from liability? Put your money where your mouth is, hold yourselves accountable, and then we could have a discussion about what you want to do or propose for my own personal health. Before that, you can go shove it. And again, other implications that we have to worry about here are also being contradicted by other mainline doctors and medical professionals, like an Oxford professor that recently came out and warned that the conholio sickness could mutate and render this jab absolutely useless, which, according to the official story of this sickness, is an absolute possibility. Now again, it's also important to understand here that Donald Trump and Joe Biden both have been huge proponents of the jab. Joe Biden will be publicly taking his jab next week. And even though Donald Trump tweets about anti-mask claims, we have to understand that he, of course, is the one that instituted Operation Warp Speed and is the one fast-tracking and pushing the FDA and even threatening to fire the head of the FDA if they don't ram through this jab to the American people. Now, with a lot of these uncertainties, there are still many multinational corporations that are talking about making this jab mandatory for everyday activities like travel or going to concerts. And again, that kind of talk is just absolutely ridiculous on its own face value with the uncertainty that we are, of course, faced with. You add on top of that the previous government actions related to this entire sickness, and it shows you how absolutely backwards government is. And to think that they are getting this jab right, meanwhile they were getting everything else wrong about this sickness, is delusional. I'm sorry, I'm not going to trust government officials that tell you to be on the streets protesting for Black Lives Matter or celebrating a Biden victory one day, or telling you to go shopping at Best Buy that also tell you it's too dangerous to have dinner with your family. Yes, every activity that serves them and the special interest elite globalist class is totally A-okay, but do something that's against their agenda, be with your family, be with your friends, well, that is totally outlawed, which really makes you wonder, what in the world is going on here? And to think that known liars that told you not to wear masks, now they're telling you to wear masks, that knowingly lied to you about that very specific issue, are telling you the truth now, is just, again, extremely naive. In Los Angeles, people were told to literally put on masks in between bites during dinner, as of course the governor of California was not doing this at all, even though that was one of his decrees, when he had his little fancy dinner that cost thousands of dollars. In Ireland, a man literally has been sentenced to 2 months in prison. Yes, for the crime of failing to wear a mask when he was on a bus traveling to his uncle's funeral. Yes, 2 months in prison in Ireland for not wearing a mask. You know, because nothing says helping fight a global health pandemic by taking people and throwing them in cages confined to a very small space with a large number of other people. And again, where's the logic here? Where's the concentrated effort to at least think a little bit about the larger implications and consequences surrounding all of this. It's ridiculous what's happening right now, especially with the supposed outdoor dining in New York City during a major snowstorm, and individuals just literally building structures outside that are just buildings, but yet still legal under the law, which again is just absolutely backwards. So yeah, in my opinion, there is a lot of reason to be skeptical, a lot of reason to do your own homework, your own research, and to decide for yourself what is right for you and your own physical health. This idea that the government should be in charge of your health is a very naive one, and on its own merits, absolutely insane. So yeah, hopefully we don't get banned for saying that. We are already in, let's just say, hot water with YouTube, especially with them kicking us out of the partner program, demonetizing this channel, and that's why I started working with companies that I personally use, I like, and may actually help and benefit you, like ProPureUSA.com. My affiliate link to them is down in the description and comment section below, and if you're looking for water filters, whether it's for your shower, your refrigerator, your faucet, or standalone units, they have it all. Check out our affiliate link, since of course supporting them also supports us. And again, this is something that I personally used, and it's way better than going out there and buying little plastic bottles of water, having to lug it into your place, when you could just have a water filter that saves you a lot of time, money. And hey, if you're not a fan of microplastics and fluoride like I'm not, definitely go check them out. I like them. I think you will too. The link is down in the description below. Click on it right now. Now, moving forward, another bombshell story that just came out today is the fact that the Donald Trump administration has just specifically stopped all transition meetings when it comes to the U.S. Pentagon. Now, that, of course, is the headline. It is very hyperbolic. It is very sensational, especially with a lot of mainstream media figures screaming that we are under attack from Russia and that the Pentagon is in charge of this jab delivery. It's oh so important, but as with every sensational story about Donald Trump, we have to understand that there are two versions of the story. The Donald Trump administration is claiming that it is cooperating, but it is on a holiday pause. Meanwhile, the mainstream media is absolutely losing their mind and claiming that Donald Trump's Pentagon chief is not cooperating with Joe Biden and that they allegedly won't. And again, this is just more ridiculousness in the mainstream media, along with the latest news of the hacking attack that allegedly has targeted U.S. nuclear weapons, the U.S. energy grid, and a lot of other U.S. infrastructure, which some people are calling the, quote, biggest cyber attack in U.S. history, which, of course, members of the deep state and the mainstream media are directly pointing to Russia as being the direct responsible party here, which some politicians are even taking as far as to say that this could be, quote, considered an act of war. While, of course, the American people still haven't seen any actual data or information confirming a lot of this, we do have a lot of secret, invisible evidence of this alleged Russian hacking. And I think I heard this one before, but oh yeah, they lied about it before, so really makes you wonder what's going on here. And again, there's no denying that there are cyber intelligence conundrums and conflicts between geopolitical world powers. That, of course, does happen. But on the larger note, we do have to point out here that this does portray essentially a very troubling picture for potential false flags that might actually lead us into hot wars. Again, these are topics that we actually discussed on the Timcast IRL podcast last night, which I was a special guest on, so if you want to check out that show, I will also have that down in the description below. I, for some reason, ended up in Tim Pool's parking lot. I was supposed to only stay here a week, but now I'm unofficially volunteering and co-hosting his show. It's been fun. It's been interesting. Check out the show from last night to see what I've been up to. Of course, we're going to be on tonight, Monday through Friday. I hope you guys enjoy some of that programming. If you're coming from that program here, thank you for joining me on my channel. I hope you guys subscribe, click the notification button, and then be throttled in a way where maybe, luckily, you see our videos. There's a big community there. It's pretty awesome. They're pretty cool. I have a lot of fun being as goofy and ridiculous as I can on the show, just like I am here. And yeah, that's just been a fun adventure. So welcome new people who are coming in from that show, and the people who are watching me. I hope you go check out that show as well. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, and this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.